So for going home after my husband dangled me over the parking garage edge as a prank. I thought he was going to kill me.
Oh my gosh.
That's a crazy prank.
That's not a prank. That's just endangerment.
Even if you were one story up, that's crazy.
Yeah. This happened a couple of days ago. I went out with my husband to eat at a place nearby that we had booked for that time, and he had wanted to go for a while, and he had been really looking forward to it. And I drove him there, and we parked on top of the parking garage nearby, and we got out of the car and started walking down the stairs, which were right on the edge of the parking garage. He started talking about how high up we were, and jokingly asked if I thought I could survive the jump if I jumped down from there. Obviously, I wouldn't have. As we were turning down the stairs and we were right next to the edge, which had a small railing before a straight drop, he shouted, "Say goodbye," and suddenly grabbed me and picked me up and brought me over the edge and dangled me there. And I fucking screamed out and was so scared. I thought he was going to kill me, and he held me over there for a second and then pulled me back and put me down. And I was in shock, and he was laughing like it was the funniest thing ever. And I was still processing what he just did to me. I was legitimately shaking. I lost my appetite and mood to be out. I just decided I wanted to go home, and I told him I'm going home, and he said it was a joke and that he was just trying to have fun. I told him he can come home with me right now or he can take the bus, but I'm driving home right now. And he said I ruined the date because he really been wanting to eat there and huffed on the way back. I was still shocked because I was literally hanging over the edge, and I called to tell them we aren't showing up. And I got home and I was just thinking about it and I started crying, and he didn't even come over and console me. He apologized later, but it was like, sorry you got scared instead of sorry for doing something I shouldn't have. And my mood was just ruined for the rest of the day. So Reddit, am I the asshole for going home? Am I the asshole for still going on a Miami trip after my husband told me no? Hey everyone, thank you in advance for taking the time to read my story. I need some sound advice on this issue. I, 26 female, and my husband, 26 male, got into an argument last night because he doesn't want me to go on a girls' trip to Miami. Here's the backstory. He and I were planning a trip to Miami to see his friends, and my friends came up to me a little while afterwards and said that they wanted to plan a trip to Miami. I discussed it with my husband to get his opinion on if we should do one big trip together or separate. We decided to go together since it's cheaper that way. Then we started to plan the trip. Unfortunately, his friends said they weren't able to go, and another one of his friends never even responded, which left just him, me, and my 3 friends. We were still planning the trip, but I started to hear less and less from my husband and anything he wanted to do on the trip. I asked him if he still wanted to go since he would be the only guy there, and he's not really cool with my friends. He said that he doesn't think it's a good idea for either of us to go because we're going to be moving and it's not a good idea financially. He never mentioned anything about this beforehand when his friends were going. Now that they aren't going, it's no longer a good idea. Before I continue, I want to address the moving situation. At this time, we're living with my mom because we're waiting for military housing. We're not paying movers or anything. We don't have a lot of stuff, and we're getting a U-Haul that's probably going to be about $100. My friends and family are helping out, the same exact friends I'm going on a trip with, and I let him know that it wasn't expensive moving out of our old apartment. We're moving up the street, not to a different state. This I reminded him of, and I also asked him, how was it a good idea before, and now your friends backed out, and now you think it's a bad idea? He said he always thought it was a bad idea. He just didn't say anything.
Convenient.
Okay. Next, he said that I should use my money to save and pay down credit card bills. Here's my issue with that. I'm the finance person in the house. My husband hates when I say we need to save money and pay debt off. He tells me that I'm acting like a mom and that I don't have the right to tell him what to do with his money. So we made an agreement that we would combine our finances and everything in the household gets paid first, i.e., bills, debt, groceries, savings. Whatever is left over, we split 50-50. And we can't decide what either of the other two do with the money since it's our money. His words, by the way. Now he's telling me that I don't need to spend my money to go to Miami, and I need to save it to put it back in the house. I reminded him what's done with the household money. We prioritize the house first before what we personally want. Whatever I have left over, I'm saving my personal money to go on a trip, and he can't tell me what I'm supposed to do with my money. I also want to add he's not saying the same thing about his personal money, just my own. I told him he can't tell me what I can or can't do with my personal money. That's something we agreed on because he didn't want that to be done to him. He said that he's not telling me, but he's highly recommending me. But he's literally telling me what to do with my money. I don't pay all the bills and I tell him to do the same, yet he thinks I'm doing too much. Then he said that going on a girls' trip to Miami is a single person activity and a married woman shouldn't be going to Miami. I have to be honest, that threw me for a loop. I just wanted to go on a trip with my friends. He said, I don't think it's best for a married woman to go on a girls' trip. I know 2 other people are married to each other, but 1 girl isn't, and I just think that's single people activities. I asked him how am I acting single for going on a trip with my friends, and he said that he didn't say that I was acting single, but that it's single people activities. I used to live in Key West as a kid. We would travel to Miami a lot and haven't been back since. Down there, we're going to Key West to see my childhood home. On top of everything, my husband has the full itinerary of what we're going to be doing in Miami. It's full of museums, sightseeing. We don't go to clubs and we don't even drink. It hurt my feelings that he thinks that of me and that he's pushing so hard that I'm acting single if I go to Miami. But now I don't know what to do. I feel like he's trying to control me, or he's upset that his friends are not going, so he's taking it out on me. I've never been on a girls' trip before. The only trip I've ever been on is with family or with him. He's been on trips where it's just him, and we were just talking about him going to see his friends in Texas, and I'm supporting him and telling him to go. But if it's me, I'm acting single and being irresponsible. So am I wrong? Should I sit this one out?
Am I the asshole for not letting my husband relight my daughter's birthday candles for my 3-year-old to blow out? No. I, 32 female, have seen and read plenty of stories where spoiled kids have blown out other kids' candles or thrown a fit when they're not allowed to. My husband, 35 male, apparently has not. Friday was my daughter's 10th birthday. The day of, I'll make them food of their choice, a small cake, and a party is usually held at a later date. After we ate, we got her cake ready, and my 3-year-old was very excited. I had explained to him all throughout the day that it was his sister's birthday, not his, so he had to wait for the cake. We lit the candles, sang happy birthday, and she blew them out. This might be where I might have been the asshole. My husband grabbed the lighter and tried to relight them so that the baby can blow them out too. I said no, it's daughter's birthday and I refuse to allow my son to be one of those spoiled kids who can't understand that it's not their day. Go mom. Go mom, because your husband is one of those parents that create those fucking kids. That's the reason that they act like that, because nobody steps in and says no. His face fell immediately. He said that he was just trying to help and keep the baby happy. We dropped it there. He was kind of quiet the rest of the night. I didn't mean to come off harsh. I just didn't want my daughter to feel like she had to share her day or that it wasn't all about her. So am I the asshole? No, you're absolutely not the asshole. I truly believe you did the right thing because your daughter is 10 years old. This is the kind of thing that as you grow older, you forgive for, but you don't forget. You absolutely do not forget how whenever it was your birthday, you didn't get to blow out your candles on your own, that your little brother had to do it too. Now that he's young, he's 3 years old, now is the time to teach him that the reason blowing out birthday candles is special is because you only do it on your day. You don't get to blow out the candles every single time someone lights one. There's nothing wrong with that. He will live. This will not be the end of his 3-year-old existence. I promise you, he will live to blow out another birthday candle another day. Personally, I feel like your husband was one of those kids that was allowed to blow out everybody's fucking birthday candles and then cried about it if he wasn't allowed. I would put fucking money on it because what the fuck are you sad for? You said his face fell immediately and then he was quiet for the rest of the night because you told him that your son cannot blow out your daughter's birthday candles. He was 100% one of those kids that cried because someone else wanted to blow out their candles on their day. I know I'm not the only person that loves to see videos of little kids being humbled at other people's birthday parties. I know I'm not the only person, and even if I am, that's fine. I will be the asshole. I absolutely love seeing videos of little kids trying to blow out people's candles, and they stop them. They like mush them or push them away to the side. I absolutely fucking love it. I will watch it, like it, and repost it every single fucking time. Bonus points if the little kid starts to cry. Makes me smile like the Grinch from ear to fucking ear.